So we are back at the shop with the Yamaha C3 action, and one thing that annoys me about this action, it's not just this maker, but everything has nice crispy lines to it, and you know, it's functional, but it hurts when I lift it up. That's sharp. That's kind of sharp. That's kind of sharp. And I'm going to have to be working with this, horsing it around and so forth. And so I'm going to just put a block of flat wood with some sandpaper on it. I'm just going to make it a little more friendly. A nice feature of this action is the aluminum extruded rails, and part of my protocol involves tightening screws, and at the piano I went and I tried a whole bunch of screws and they were all perfectly tight. Anyway, so what I have done with the regulation station, and we're using, it's a couple of generations old now, but it's a regulation station deluxe that it has 3 rails that match the 3 rails of the keyframe: front rail, balance rail, back rail. And I keep the balance rail securely tied down in the middle, with the one exception of concert grand action, which requires it to be on a slight angle in order to fit. And it has play to be able to make that adjustment. So I've tightened these, but loosened everything to do with the back rail and the front rail and the bedding materials. This is a bedding platform, and it's got a base and a wedge and an elevator that goes up and down. On the underside of the elevator there is an inclined plane that matches, it's the inverse of the wedge's inclined plane, and so as the wedge goes in, the elevator goes up, and as it comes back, it goes down. These are bedding blocks, and they have a little peak which touches the rail of the keyframe. It sits on its rail, and I turn it up in the direction of the threads, so that as I tighten it, it's less apt to shift. So it's touching there, and it's tightened there, and it's very, very stable. It's got a little bevel there, so the action come in over it and retreat over these. These are stops. There are 2 that help position the action, 2 on the back rail and 2 on the front rail, and then there are 2 that are in the slipper tracks that help position the regulating rack. Once we've determined where strike position is, they're then brought up and tightened down, since everything in the regulation happens at strike position or behind.